Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum. And we are finally back with another episode of Monday Morning Musings with my co-host, JR from Horror Fiend TV.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Apologies for the hiatus, but I had to go through a couple speed bumps and ready to go and ready to start the year off.
Yeah, everybody's been busy, I feel like, the last month or so. And then, like, everybody's been really sick. It's been chaotic for a lot of people the last few weeks in particular. So, yeah, but no, we're excited to be back. Our first episode for the year, we are going to be talking about our proudest moment as a content creator from 2022. And I'm going to let you go first.
For me, 2022 it started off slow. I gotta say that my proudest moment is the fact that we grew to the point where each of us have our own individual shows, and that's one thing I've been pushing for us to not just have our, three corners of horror, but
right.
Each have our own little talking show, and I mean, we all have different views, and that's why I like what we do. And that's for me. I love the fact that we got to do that because
that's how you started out, right? You started out as just the reviews.
Yeah, it's just the three corners. Yeah, and then once Joe came on board, things really started picking up. And Joe, I think, was the first one to he ended up getting the Psychologist is in. I started with Fiend Zone, which is basically like a review of horror topics that come up. And now it's just like each of us have our own show, and we have still a lot more shows to come. What about you?
So mine is going to be a bit of a plug as well, but mine is my livestock anthology. So, if no one has been paying attention, because I've been posting a lot about this, Tasha and I, at the end of last year, were talking about doing like some kind of anthology. We had some ideas and we were getting ready to announce that we were going to do a submission call. And then Roe versus Wade got overturned, and we were like, oh, like this needs to be where our focus is. So we redirected our attention and we did it as a charity anthology around body autonomy and reproductive rights for women instead. And like, I'm still a really, really small channel. Like, no one knows who I am. And so like, I was really nervous about like putting ourselves like out there, like putting it out there, trying to get stories to come in, getting people interested, especially because of the content and because of the subject matter. I was like, oh God, I really hope and we ended up getting enough stories to put the anthology together. It's got 16 stories minus mine. I don't count mine. So, but 17 stories total. Tasha did the forward for it. And just the amount of, like overall support that we got, so the cover was donated. The editing Tasha did, the formatting was a donated service that someone did for us. I had NW Reader. Her name is Christina. She has an Etsy shop where she makes like, I think I have some. Actually, I have a Michael Myers one right here. You'll like that. But like, she does like horror stickers. She makes stickers and does her own drawings, and she does like book covers, and she does a lot of stuff like that, bookmarks. And she had done these really cool stickers that were revolved around, body autonomy and reproductive rights. And she donated a set of 2 different styles to give to me to send with contributor copies. And we just had like an outpour of support. People were like really, really excited about it, really amped to be a part of it. And it just was one of those things where it just like, it was part of the horror community that put all of that, into play and helped Tasha and I make it what it is, and even be able to get enough to put a book together. And it was like, it's rewarding in so many ways. I mean, like it's a charity anthology, so all the money goes to the Center for Reproductive Rights. But it's one of those things where it was just the women in the horror community came together, and we were pissed and we were angry and we had a lot to say, and we kind of channeled all of that and put it together and came up with a really great anthology for a really great cause. And I'm like, because I'm also really proud of my growth. I've had a lot of growth this past year. I'm proud of all of my series that I'm doing, all my collaborations like this one and Found Footage Fridays and my Saturday horror movie reviews and like all of those things. But this just hit in such a deeper level for me. And it was something that I would have never thought, 2 years ago when I started this, I would have never thought in a million years that I could have done something like this. And so that's definitely my proudest moment from 2022.
No, I mean it takes a lot of courage to do that, and I know when we were talking about it before, how you were getting prepped up to do the book, and how nervous you were. And no,
Yeah.
I mean I give you a lot of credit. I mean, and we talked about writing before, so it's like
Yeah.
to get yourself to the point where you're more in control of what you're putting together.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big plus. Yeah, I mean I'd be proud too. I mean to
Yeah.
get
Thank you.
to get your own anthology and to get the support you did, and it was a good focal point. I mean I know it's always nerve wracking because we're content creators and you don't want to put yourself in that certain light where you're like, all right, if I do this, is it gonna affect me as a creator, or people are gonna act a certain way, and you didn't really get that backlash, so that's really good. And
I didn't. Yeah, because you also have to decide if you care.
yeah,
You also have to decide, like, do I care if this makes people mad? Or, because, like, I mean, being in content creating in general, I mean, you don't make everybody happy, but I
right.
make people mad. I'm sure y'all make me mad. You make me mad all the time. I'm sure it's like, so I think it's one of those things where, like, you do have to get into a headspace of you're doing something you're passionate about. And that's not just this, that's everything that we do. And it's like you put yourself out there, you're opening yourself up to all kinds of criticism and things. So yeah, no, it was really great. I mean, I think we've both seen, the last year, and like specifically, just an amazing support system in the community. I mean, the horror community is not without flaws. Um, but just in general, people wanting to be involved in our content, wanting to be friends, wanting to share our stuff, likes, comments, just all of that. It's just been like a really like humbling experience, I think.
Yeah, because we what we do is we do it because we love to do it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean, yes, we look at the views like, man, what can I do to improve the next one? But I mean, that's something that you almost have to brush off. It's like
Yeah,
you
you
do it
do.
just to do it, and you know, for some reason, it's like you'll do one episode one week, and you're like, all right, I'm getting average reviews,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, you do an episode like, the hell, you get
Yeah.
almost triple of what you got for the last two views, but that's the fun part about it. And I remember when we first started. Rick was always like, guys, look at the views, guys, and we got to do this. But when it comes down to it, as long as you're having fun, I mean, that's the whole point. Because it is like a second job, but it's like a passion
Yeah.
project at the same time. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I
definitely.
think, and like, I mean, I do look at my views and stuff, especially for like, I don't know if y'all are like this. I feel like everybody's like this, but I like sometimes I'll just have it in my head that something's going to do really well. Like, oh, this is like a great idea. Like, pat myself on the back. I'm like, this is a great idea. This is going to do really well. And then I go look at the count. I'm like, or not. Like, you just never know like what's going to be good and or like what's going to get the views and stuff. But I mean, yeah, I think it's hard to like turn that stuff off, but I do have to
Yeah,
remember like I am doing it because I want to do it. That was one of the reasons I amped up so much. I went from doing one episode a week to like sometimes five, depending on,
yeah,
the rotation of the schedule. But it's like, it's just crazy to think about, like, looking back on last year, how much there was to talk about in horror, how many
yes,
people I met. Because I met y'all. I mean, I met you last year.
yeah.
And around this time, I think, actually, like, it was close to this, I
Yeah,
think,
that
because it
was.
was right before I moved and stuff. But like, yeah, it's just crazy to think about, like, how far, like, how much has changed in a year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when we were getting going, we were like, I mean, we were nervous. I'll be honest, we were nervous.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
always one of those things where you're like, all right, is this going to be something I'm going to be doing long term, or what happens if I'm not happy with what I'm doing? And, you see that with other content creators. We go through this moment where we get,
Yeah.
like we doubt ourselves, we have second thoughts, but then once you brush that off, you're like, you know what, I'm doing this for fun. So I like sitting there. I like talking to with people reviewing movies, arguing. 'Cause I love to argue because
Yeah.
some
We know.
reason
We all know that.
I have this reputation of, oh God, what the hell is he gonna say about this movie now? But
Who knows where that came from?
oh my gosh, yeah. But it's I had such a great year last year. Just like I said, we met, we collaborated on a lot. We talked a lot about horror. Um,
Yeah.
we made other connections. I mean, like this year, I'm anxious to reach out to more podcasters because, I mean,
Yeah.
I want people to come on our show and just, feel like they could talk horror and they could just have fun and just say whatever they want when it comes to horror. Because you come on our show, it's three different opinions and you don't
Oh, I
know.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do that more, and definitely, I mean, I love the fact that you know you you do get a chance to meet other people who have the passion for horror, um, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. Like horror is one of those movie genres that you will not get bored talking about it. Like
No, there's always something new, especially because it's like exploding right now.
it
Like
is.
I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue to see that pattern of it just becoming, more, there's just more of it to discover. There's more people taking chances on
Yeah,
it. There's more indie filmmakers getting out there. There's just a lot more of it to discuss. And I mean, like I always like when I first started voices, I didn't do anything with anybody. I was completely by myself for the first I don't know, like 10 months or something like that. It was ridiculous. And then like I remember like for months and months, like all the way till probably like not that long ago, every time I filmed with somebody new, I was like terrified, like stomach in knots, like stage fright, kind of like scared, like so worried about how it was gonna go. Is it gonna go well? Am I gonna do well? And then now it's like it's a lot of these people, that started out as these like, oh God, I'm so nervous, are
yeah,
like people I talk to like every day. Like it's just turned into this like I mean, the first time I was getting ready to come on and do Virus 32 with you guys, I was a mess. I was so nervous and I was so anxious. And I mean, of course, excited and happy and all of those good things, but just nervous. And there were three of y'all. Like it was very nerve wracking. And then it was, and like now it's like obviously fine, but it's
yeah.
just funny to think about like starting out doing stuff with other people and being comfortable, like really not comfortable, uncomfortable, reaching out and doing stuff with other people to the point that now it's like weird if I do anything by myself.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a fun problem to have, because
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
because like for me,
Yeah.
I'm the one that like reaches out for people, and sometimes like
Yeah.
I want like every single person I reach out to, I want them to come out, and
Yeah.
and sometimes unfortunately, you get those who don't want to come on. I'm not taking shots at you guys. I'm just saying, you get nervous to come on, but it's like I want as many people on as possible, just
Yeah.
so because for me, I view other channels.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. We're all doing this together. We're all
Yeah.
talking about horror together,
Yeah.
and it should be like a horror family instead of like, what if I go on that channel and come out the wrong way? No, just come on and have fun. That's the whole point of doing this. Talk horror. You know,
Yeah.
pick a movie, rip it apart, or have fun with it, or just like, man, I liked it, but just have fun with it. I mean, that's the good part about content creating, especially horror. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still the best genre. I love it.
Yeah. And that's like, so no matter who you talk to, it's like everybody's got different opinions and different takes. And even people who like the same stuff, like, will have something different to say about the same movie, or that's all like part of the fun in the conversation, I think.
No, definitely. I mean, to have opposing views is probably the best thing because
Yeah.
you have a tendency of coming out and looking at the movie differently. Like there's been plenty of times where you've
Yeah.
come out and you had a view of a certain movie, but then
Mhm.
after we have our whole conversation, like, oh man, we missed this, we missed that. How did we miss this? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. Okay, now you start looking at movies differently. I mean, you still have those that suck, but unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's
you still have some that you walk away going, I hear you, but I still hate that movie.
yeah,
Like, but
yeah,
but you're right though. I've walked away from several conversations and had a completely different outlook, or at least maybe a different appreciation, or noticing something I didn't notice before or whatever. So no, that's definitely true. I agree. Yeah.
no, it's fun. Like 2022 was a good year in content creating, and I think 2023 is going to be a lot better.
Even better.
Oh yeah.
When you say a lot better, it makes it sound like it wasn't like 2022 wasn't good.
No, no. So there's always, you always want to like, because now you have more expectations of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Now you got the, just once the subscribers start going up, you're like, all right, now we're starting to hook people. What can we do to continue to hook people? What movies can
Yeah.
we talk about? What where can we go with this? So it's always one of those things where you always got to look at it that way. Where, all right, I got to continue improving. Like that's all you could do. I mean, it's fun. Like I'm glad that that we both had a good year. 2022 in content creating, and it's definitely going to go uphill from here. And maybe next year at this time we'll be like, wow, we did a lot better in 2023, and it's getting to the point where.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be looking at that monetized thing like, man, come on, I'm getting the
Yeah, that's
we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this because we love to do it and we love to talk over.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, that's our proudest moments and thoughts on 2022 for content creating in general.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Monday. Hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your week coming up.
Your coffee.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.